It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Bengals and the Jags. And it's coming up next on EA Sports.
We are 15 miles due west of the Atlantic, nestled in downtown Jacksonville at TIAA Bank Field. This crowd excited to see their Jaguars as both teams emerged from their tunnels a moment ago. We are just about ready for football as the Jags get set to match up with the Cincinnati Bengals. With my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we have arrived at another new season. Had a little more pep in my step this morning. I know you did as well. Here we go.
Yeah, when you went out for your 5-mile jog, you were flying. You did it in record time because you were psyched up about this game. But let's be frank about it. No more radio shows, no more podcasts, no more just predicting what's going to happen. Now we get to see it on the field.
About ready to get us going. And off we go from Jacksonville. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
The word is potential, potential, potential. Think about this guy from the time he was in high school, one of the top prospects going to college, coming out of college, mentioned as a generational type quarterback. He looks the part. Tall, big arm, surveys the field, and can take off and run when under duress.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch. But
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Keanu Neal with a safety blitz for the sack. But just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And they decided to go with the safety blitz there. And look, if that gets picked up, quarterback really has the advantage then because he'll have more time to throw the football and some wide open space. But when it doesn't, that's a guy who gets a free run into the backfield. And oftentimes...
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jay Tufele, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
Hey, we all love a good story, and what we like even more, guys who can fight through adversity. Joe Burrow coming out of high school, goes to Ohio State, doesn't get a chance to start, transfers to LSU, not thought to be a top prospect, ends up the #1 pick in the draft, and justifies it. Tremendous play, excellent mobility, and leadership off the charts.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. A very short field to work with now. 1st and goal after the great punt return. They'll give it to Mixon. Oh, able to avoid him. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back. second and goal. One man stands in the backfield, and that's Mixon. They'll give it to him up the middle, and he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon punching it in from a yard away. And the Bengals are on the board here first in the season opener. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. To return, here's Agnew. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the second time here in this game. They went 3 and out on their first drive of the new season. Not an ideal beginning as they start drive number 2, 1st and 10. First carry for the Clemson man, Travis Etienne. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Lawrence. Escaping the press. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jay Tufele able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now it's Burrow. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Burrow. Open man, it's complete to Higgins. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
They will throw on 1st down with Burrow. That one complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up, and he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Open man is Higgins, and he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. T. Higgins, 30 yards. And the Bengals are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a Bengals score. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. To return, here's Agnew. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville offense ready to go back to work. And what would you say? Is it the offensive line that has caused a lot of this pressure to get back there?
That's always the first place that you have to look to see what's going on. But part of it is so difficult to simulate this type of pass rush in practice because the speed, the ferocity, the quickness, some of the change-ups and how they get at the quarterback that you may not have seen on film, all that is different. You can practice it as much as you want to. You can even insert smaller, faster guys at positions to show that the speed's going to be quicker. But until the whistle blows and you play for real, it's just not the same.
And not as easy to implement on game day.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. A shotgun snap and a give to Etienne. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Now Lawrence to throw. And that is incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Now Burrow down around his goal line. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. The wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing
Now Burrow loses the football. And this will be scooped up in the end zone. A defender gets there, and it's a touchdown. Once that ball was loose, the question was, would this be 2 or would it be 6? It's 6. The defense able to pounce on it.
And for the offense, the training didn't really kick in, did it? Once that ball comes loose, you've got to get on it, make sure that you recover it, or make sure you punch it out of the end zone. Anything but give it to the defense to score a touchdown.
Josh Lambo now for the point after. And that one makes it 14-7. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they'll be looking to start fresh. Just a moment ago, they were backed up, coughed up the football, and then saw it go the other way for 6 points.
I just wonder, partner, sometimes they put such an emphasis on things. And, you know, in that situation, as they ran out there, they were told, take care of the football, don't cough it up. And sometimes that's the last thing you hear, and that's exactly what you do.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
He'll air this one out for Boyd. And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big play there for Cincinnati. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has zero answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Burrow. And that's caught one more time by Boyd. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
On 2nd down now, Mixon. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Burrow will throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Adams. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. It's 2nd and 7 from the 9. Throwing again on 2nd down. Burrow flushed out right. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Burrow, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in week 1.
Yeah, all the things that you dreamed about in April and May and that you worked on in July and August, getting ready for this game, it's all coming together so far.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 21-7. So that drive 7 plays in length. And it was Joe Burrow who took it himself for the touchdown run. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
A nice start to the drive, picking up 12 yards there and a very quick first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Etienne. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Now Lawrence. This one complete to Mecole Hardman.
Let's go. Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Running out of the gun with Etienne. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. From just shy of midfield, Lawrence. That's complete to the tight end, Everett.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped, but what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. Lawrence, now this is Etienne on the draw. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's Bradley Pinion now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Joe Burrow trots out again with the rest of his offense. He's thrown for a touchdown pass, and he's run for one so far.
When you're able to watch a guy perform at a high level and do it in multiple ways, yeah, arm, legs, he really helps his team in a big way. You've got to think that they feel great about where they are in this ball game, and they feel even better about him leading their team.
He's hoping to put them into a better spot after this drive. Burrow bats it forward. It's a jet sweep. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. The defensive coordinators love that. You got a cornerback willing to stick his nose in there, come up on run support, and stop that pop pass dead in its tracks.
And, partner, one good thing about trying to defend that play, you should see it coming the whole way. You see the receiver coming in motion in your direction. Nice job eluding the blocker, making the play behind the line of scrimmage, but an even better job studying the play before you have to try and defend it in a game.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They'll run on first down. Mixon, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. From the gun, a give to Mixon. Takes this to the 45. Not much space after that broken tackle. And Bengals on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. But you said it earlier in the quarter when we saw a broken tackle then that we might see some missed tackles here early on in week 1, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. It will even out as the season extends because everyone will get used to the play speed. But right now, here in the early season, the advantage definitely goes to the offense.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Throw left side, complete to Chase. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. But there's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball. Exactly
right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Flush to his right. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Burrow with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Bengals are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. Travis Etienne and the Jags offense set to take over again here. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A give to Etienne running right. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
Second and 11 now. Looking to throw, Lawrence. His throw incomplete. The Jaguars on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Lawrence will throw. Oh, had his hands on it. Couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. 35 yards that time on the punt.
Here we go.
Here again comes Joe Burrow and the offense for the Bengals. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Burrow. He hits his target, the tight end Adams. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
On 3rd down, Burrow. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Boyd. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now, light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
On first down, Mixon. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this, or he keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Burrow. And he whips that one incomplete there. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. To the air again, Burrow. Airing one out for Boyd. And this one is incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw into the hands here of Hardman. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. He'll drop that underneath to ETN. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Now Lawrence on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. It's a throw again is Lawrence. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bengals going to take over late in this first half. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. Throwing now, Burrow on first down. And oh, a dangerous throw there. Nearly intercepted on the sideline, but it's incomplete. 2nd and 10. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. He completes it to Tate. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Burrow. This is caught. It's Boyd. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. First down. Here's Burrow. He's got his man. This is Tate. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Burrow. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Josh Allen picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll get started out in Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston. And it's the Ravens out in front as that game moves towards halftime. 2 touchdown passes there for Lamar Jackson. From there, we'll head up to Indy to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Tennessee Titans. Ryan Tannehill has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last. We head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting LA Rams. 2 touchdown passes there for Dak Prescott. Now time for a check of the next-gen stats in the first half for the Bengals. And it was important for them to get the season off on the right foot. And they've done just that, thanks to a very solid outing by their passing offense thus far. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. The Bengal offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they get the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can...
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Josh Allen able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
2nd and 21, a lot of ground to cover. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. So no problems moving the ball in the first half, but they'll likely come up empty here on drive 1 of quarter 3.
And it was so important for the defense to get that stop because what we witnessed in the first half was them getting run over. And they needed the confidence, and they needed to get off the field so they felt good going forward in this game.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. On the return, here's Agnew. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
50 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down. Lawrence eluding the pressure right, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Dayo Odangbo showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Now Lawrence on 3rd and long. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The kick by Lambeau is good, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Cincinnati set to take over once again. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Because his primary job is defending against the pass, you don't often see a cornerback making tackles in the backfield. But he's playing run all the way here.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And this looks a lot like the last play. Behind the line of scrimmage, he's tackled for the second straight go-around. Great job by this Jacksonville D.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Burrow looking to pass. This goes out wide for Mixon. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And that's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Now Lawrence to throw. He'll get that underneath Etienne. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll make it 3rd down. Now Lawrence. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that'll bring up 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Burrow on play action. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Bengals bring out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. Travis Etienne and the Jags offense set to take over again here. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync, because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets, and you might not block them quite the way you want to, but as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
On second down and 4, Lawrence. And that's complete to ETN out of the backfield. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Draw play, ETN. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12.
47's the mic. 47's the mic. You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Here's Lawrence to throw. Oh, and he'll just get rid of this one deep. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big 3rd down play there for the Jags. Sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And that might be just what they needed to get back in this game. Sometimes you need a big play to shake things up, get a little life in your sideline, get everyone believing again, and they got it there in a big way.
Yeah, and that throw, my goodness, and even 70 yards through the air. And they'll throw on 1st down with Lawrence. That'll be caught right side. Chenault with it. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Bengals grab it. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. 2nd and 10, 3rd quarter of the season opener. Now it's Burrow. He goes right back to Higgins, and this time he's got it. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. Now it's Burrow. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Now we've got whistles, and the man slow to get up here is Jones. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Agnew now to return. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Jacksonville set to go again offensively. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, Not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here?
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
From the gun, it's Lawrence. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. A handoff to Mixon, and nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Mixon. Fights him off. Mixon with a 1st down and more. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 56 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, in this part of the game, the 4th quarter, this is where a running back really has a chance to shine. This is what they've been training for, to take over the game down the stretch. The defense, it's been battered all game long. And here, this is just a case of a runner imposing his will and deciding he didn't want to be tackled right there.
They'll run on 1st down. Mixon, and he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's a give to Mixon. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
This was boxing. You think maybe they would have thought about stopping this one because this defense has been bruised, it's been battered. But this is why they keep the fight going, right? They just got done with a really nice play, showing they still got a little bit left, don't they?
Haven't had many plays that they can clip, put in the film room, and smile about, but, hey, there's one.
Clip and save.
The Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 14. Now Burrow. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Here comes the boom. I see you, boy. I see you.
Now the Bengals will settle for 3 as the field goal unit comes on here. This a 43-yard attempt. The kick by Bass is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
To return, here's Agnew. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Dayo Odengbo in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line
under pressure, and they got to him again. Joseph Osai, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here, back-to-back sacks.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Here's Lawrence. This is Chenault on the receiving end. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Here's Bradley Pena now, standing just about on his own goal line. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. The Bengals set to take over. And this has been quite a performance to kick off the new year on the road, no less, as they try to finish things off here in the 4th quarter. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. He'll hand it off here. This is Mixon. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Once again, they run with Mixon. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
11 MT, 11 MT. Check, 43. 11 Thomas. 11 Thomas.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. Burrow on 3rd down. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
Let's go.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know. I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This from 54 yards away. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On 2nd and 10, Lawrence flushed out right. And Lawrence going to smartly hit the deck here as he is able to pick up the 1st down in the process. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And the Bengals are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? They had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
They try to eat some clock with Mixon. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. 81 yards on the ground for him so far.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up, and he will have the 1st down here as he's up to the 15.
Come on, baby, let's go. Get excited. Let's go.
On, ready?
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for the Bengals, hey, you get a win, you get it on the road. You can't ask for much more than that to start the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons.